Welcome back to How to Cake It. I'm Yolanda, and this week, because it's still winter, I'm making a snow globe cake. I never had a snow globe with a cake in it, so I thought, I saw the need for society to have that. To make this cake, I baked 11 pounds of my ultimate vanilla cake, and I dyed it in a wintry blue ombre.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted you to just feel cool as you ate the cake, or as you look at it. I'm sorry, guys. I do cut it and show them. Once my cakes are baked and cooled and chilled, I remove them from their pans, level them, and then remove the caramelization from the bottom. Now that I've prepared all 4 cakes, I do need to layer each one into 2. Normally when I layer cakes in 2, I do it evenly. So I hold up my ruler, measure, and make a mark like halfway. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to cut a 1-inch layer off of each cake. I'm gonna reserve that 1-inch layer from each color of cake, put it aside for now. And in the meantime, I need to simple syrup the other 4 layers of cake. Sir Squeeze! Sir Squeeze never lets me down.
No.
He doesn't. He works hard. He's on time. He does his job.
Does he ever take any vacations? Do we ever not simple syrup?
Yeah. There's a few cakes I haven't simple syruped on the channel.
Oh, there's the Rice Krispie Castle.
He was actually upset because he showed up for work and I was like, we don't need you today. And he was like, what do you mean? So that was an issue. We should have put that in the behind the scenes. Now that the simple syrup has soaked in, it's time to fill these layers with Italian meringue buttercream in order. So from the darkest cake on the bottom to the lightest one on top, and chill it. Feels appropriate to chill such a wintry cake. We have the How to Cake It 2018 Winter Treats ebook available now. It has 18 different recipes for fun and simple things to bake over the holidays. Click here to click up a copy. I'm still trying to make it work. My cake is chilled, the buttercream is nice and set, and this makes it easier for me to carve. I have a board that I have cut that will support my glass dome later on. So I lay that board on top, and I cut from the side of that board down to the bottom edge of the bottom cake. And even though I'm going A-line, I'm trying not to go like too perfectly straight. It's more of like a very slight curve all the way around. And now it's time to crumb coat and chill. You know what's funny? Every time we do the interview, I forget to bring my megaphone here. And I don't know why, because I really like it.
I just realized this is the last crumb coat and chill of the year.
It is. Oh my goodness. Are you ready for 2019? I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. My crumb coat is chilled. It's time to ice this cake one more time, get it nice and smooth. I realized perhaps I should use my invention to ice this cake because of the slight curve. And for once, I'm using my invention in the opposite direction. Every time I've used my invention so far, it's been because the cakes are like rounded this way, but this time it was this way. So I bent it the other way.
Oh, I see.
Aha! My cake is chilled, and now I need to prepare it for fondant. So before I cover this cake, I'm going to cut some dowels level with its height, insert them in a circular formation, and place that board on top. I roll out my fondant to about 1/8 of an inch thin, pick it up on a French rolling pin, drape it over the cake, and begin to smooth. Now, I will say this, because the board I put on top is sort of sharper at the top than a cake is, some of my fondant tore along the top of the cake. Don't worry, I will fix that later. I have a friend named the Seam Hider. And trim away the excess at the bottom. Now I can put this cake in the fridge and work on some of the details. Let's not forget about our 1-inch cake layers in the ombre that we put aside. We're gonna use these cake layers to create the cake layers of our mini tiered cake that's going inside the globe. For this, I'm going to use my circle cutters, cutting out a circle from each color of cake, and each one has to get a little smaller than the other so that I can tier it. I have my 4 cake circles, again, the same way I built the inside of my cake. The darkest one is the biggest bottom tier. Now I need to cover these cakes. I want us to see the blue because I think it's so pretty. So what I'm going to do is roll out some white fondant, nice and thin, and then I'm using a set of scalloped circle cutters that I have, and I'm cutting out a circle that's a little bit bigger than the size of each tier of cake. Wait a minute. This might be the ultimate cakeception. There's a cake in the cake. To attach the fondant to the little cake tiers, brush on some clear piping gel, then I'll place my tiered cake on top and I'll smooth the fondant up along the sides. Then I'll turn it back over and continue to smooth that fondant. So now it kind of looks like the top of the cake was iced and it's sort of dripping over. It's so adorable. I do this to each tier of the cake. Each tier is covered and I can glue them together. So I have some royal icing that I put into a tiny little piping bag. I'm just gonna pipe some on to the top of the mini tier and add the next layer, and then the next layer, and then the next layer. The royal icing will glue them all together. With that same piping bag fitted with a really small star tip, I'm gonna pipe a mini border on each tier of my mini cake. It's so adorable. This could be like a little hamster wedding cake, right? We'll get them a little like tuxedo and a little bridal gown with a mini veil, a tiny knife that they can cut their cake together. I'm going too far. I'm losing it, really. I'm going to start working on some of the details for the outside of my snow globe. For this, I'm rolling out some white fondant and I'm going to texture it with a ribbed rolling pin that I have. I love this rolling pin. And I just basically want to create like a striped texture on white fondant. I'm also going to roll out some more white fondant and I'm going to use a plaque cutter that I have to cut out, you know how snow globes always say, like there's a plaque on the front that says like Merry Christmas or Winter Wonderland or Toronto or whatever it is. So I'm gonna create a plaque for mine. I also wanna create a little dome topper out of gum paste. By pressing some white gum paste into a sphere pan that I have, make sure to grease the pan slightly. It's like we're using the cake pan as a mold. Then you want to turn that gum paste out and use a circle cutter to cut it to the exact right size to fit over that flat part of your vase. Going back to my textured fondant with the stripes, I want to use a ruler and a sharp paring knife to cut out equal width stripes. Use the texture as a guide. I don't want this cake to be too white, and I need it to be somewhat magical. I'm mixing pearl luster with clear food grade alcohol and just painting it all over these textured stripes and my plaque. I made 2 plaques. I know you can see that in the footage, just in case. While the paint is drying, I'm going to roll out some gum paste really nice and thin and use my tappets to cut out the letters I need to spell Merry Cakemas on the front of my plaque later on. Oh my God, it's a full cakeception. Merry Cakemas with a cake inside a cake. I'm gonna roll out some more white gum paste. And this time I'm gonna cut out snowflakes. I have a set of snowflake plunger cutters. What that means is these are meant for gum paste, so they cut out really nice defined shapes, and then you just press to release it. Set those aside for a while to dry. In fact, these are the kind of things you can make ahead of time. And once they're dry enough, I'm gonna use some pearl and really light blue luster dust mixed with alcohol, paint them, and while the paint is drying, I'm just sprinkling on some like light blue disco dust. Oh, oh, it's Christmas. Oh, 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 it's Christmas. I'm born in the 70s, so I actually love disco. I love disco, and my theory is I was listening to it in the womb because I love disco. Let's start adding these details to the snow globe cake. The first thing I want to do is decide where the front of the cake is, and then I'm going to apply a little bit of clear piping gel to one of my plaques and center it in front. Now that my plaque is centered and in place, I'm going to measure the remaining circumference around my globe. Then I'm going to use the tip of my knife to make evenly spaced marks around, And this is where I'm going to glue on my textured painted stripes. I turn each stripe over, brush on a little clear piping gel, and glue it over the mark from the bottom of the cake up to the top. You know, I keep trying to call Leonardo and tell him to star in Art Cakeception, and I get no response. Are people offering him better jobs?
In his last project, he was like being destroyed by a bear. I'm sure.
Exactly. I mean, I would pick the cake. It's time to add the words Merry Cakemas to my plaque. So instead of ripping off the plaque that I put on the cake, I'm going to use that second plaque that's still intact and carefully glue those letters on with a bit of clear piping gel. I wanted to have them a little curved, so I just placed a large circle cutter that I have as a guide and glued on my letters. Now I can remove that first plaque that I put on and just place this plaque in the same place. Joni is back in the step-by-step kitchen, and she has made a magical Christmas dessert tower. And this tower actually lights up. How Christmassy is that? Everything lights up at Christmas. We also have a new video from Cassie, which is a wintry snowflake cake. You can check both of them out. I'll put links below. It's time for me to hide that little seam, that tear at the top of my cake. I'm just gonna brush on a thin layer of piping gel onto the board that's revealed, roll out a little cord of white fondant, press it over the crack, and then I'm going to use a paintbrush to smooth it. We won't even really see this crack because the dome will be placed over, but I can't live with it personally. And here's the moment you've been waiting for. It's the final appearance of the seam hider in 2018. The seam hider. Just look at her go. Look at that technique. You see that paintbrush smoothing? Do you see that? Will the seam hider return in 2019? Subscribe to find out and hit that notification bell so you don't miss her. She'll be back because fondant tends to crack. So it's time to work on what will be inside of my glass dome. I've cut a foam board that will fit within the opening of my glass vase. And on top of that foam board is a smaller circular board glued to the center of it. I'm just using a small spatula to add a layer of royal icing. And now I'm going to press on some small pearl dragées. I have a fear of dragées hitting my floor, so I use that big circle cutter I have. Dragées are as bouncy as basketballs. There's a fact you didn't know. Yes, they are. They just bounce, 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 and I hear them and it drives me insane. I pipe on a little bit of royal icing onto that mini board and carefully place my blue tiered cake on top. Cakeception. Now I can glue this entire board with the mini cake to the top of my cake. Spread some royal icing and glue that board down. You are going to hear dragées bouncing. I want to create a little rim around that board. For this, I soften some white fondant, put it through a clay extruder with the largest round faceplate, and then I brush some piping gel around that board, add my extruded fondant, and now what I'm going to do is just use a fondant smoother to flatten and smooth that border I created until it fits within the dome. So I had to keep trying the dome. Nope, a little thinner, smooth it some more until it was just right. Time to add some magic to the inside of this snow globe. I'm adding some edible glitter flakes, some luster dust and disco dust, and remember the snowflakes I painted? I'm gonna put a few of those inside. I'm gonna glue them to the cake here and there and have a few sort of standing up within the dragées. I also have these little silver edible stars. So I purposely pour some of these stars into my glass vase and shake it around because I want these stars to stick to the side. Coincidentally, these stars are a part of this month's sprinkle service medley. Yes, guys, we have a monthly sprinkle service and we also have a monthly cake tea club, and this is the t-shirt of the month. You can sign up to any one of our clubs here. Like normally the fun part of a snow globe is you pick it up and you shake it and you watch it snow. Please don't pick up this cake and shake it. I'm not that good. Like, do not pick this. Do not attempt to shake this cake. I present to you my Merry Cake Miss snow globe, and instead of just leaving it on a shelf to get dusty or using it like a paperweight, you can cut into this and eat it. Guys, next week, there's no cake. You know that's the week we always do something special, and this year we are playing a version of the Newlywed Game. Have a happy new year, everyone. Don't forget to check out Joni's magical Christmas dessert tower and Cassie's wintry snowflake cake. And I will see you next year in 2019.